Hello and welcome. I'll be reading you a cozy original sleep story, so feel free to relax, unwind, and drift off whenever you're ready. Tonight's tale comes from the Dreamweaver Chronicles, a magical sleep story I'm building, and this is Book 1, Harper and the Enchanted Castle. Let's begin. Chapter 1, When Quill Comes Calling. The evening began like any other in Harper's Spellhaven cottage, quiet, serene, and perfectly predictable. Harper lay sprawled on her purple yoga mat, diligently stretching her legs, while Salem, her ever-present familiar, a black cat, lounged on the windowsill. "I think I'm finally making progress," Harper muttered, holding a stretch as Salem gave an approving, if half-hearted hum. And then it happened. "Did someone order adventure?" Quill's booming voice shattered the tranquility, echoing through the room like an overzealous game show host, announcing the grand prize. Harper froze mid-stretch. "Oh no," she groaned. "Not him. Not now." In a flash of glitter and pyrotechnics, Quill materialized in the center of the room, decked out in a golden magician's cap and top hat. A wand sparkled in his hand as he struck a dramatic pose. "Ladies, gentlemen, and snarky cats, tonight's feature, a once-in-a-lifetime portal adventure." "Quill, we've talked about this," Harper said. "You can't just barge in. Correction, I can and I have." He tossed the wand over his shoulder, where it exploded into confetti. "Now, get your shoes on. We're late for an Enchanted Castle dimension." Salem leapt down from the windowsill, tail flicking in irritation. "Why do you insist on dragging us into your chaos? Can't you find someone else to torment?" Quill crouched down to Salem's level, now dressed as a Victorian lawyer with a tiny pair of spectacles perched on his nose. "My dear feline, I object to your tone, and also no." He snapped his fingers, and a swirling portal of deep blues and fiery oranges opened in the middle of the room. Harper sat up, glaring. "We're not going. I was in the middle of something important." Quill grinned, his top hat reappearing as he tipped it dramatically. "Oh, were you? Stretching your legs and having philosophical debates with Furball over there? Riveting, truly." "I resent that," Salem muttered. "But fear not," Quill continued, standing up and flourishing his arms. "I'm here to rescue you from your mundane evening. Portal now, regrets later." Before Harper could protest, Quill grabbed her wrist, or rather, his hand passed through her wrist in a gesture so theatrical it was a wonder he didn't add sparkles, and mimed yanking her forward. Despite herself, Harper stumbled toward the portal. "Don't you dare," Harper began, but her words were cut off as Quill gave Salem an enthusiastic push, sending him floating headfirst through the portal. "See you on the other side," Quill chirped, jumping in after them. The sensation was like being spun inside a washing machine filled with glitter. When Harper landed, it was on solid ground, thankfully, though the ground in question was cold, rocky, and slightly damp. "Ugh," Harper groaned, brushing herself off. "What now?" Salem materialized next to her, his tail puffed up in indignation. I hate him. I want that on record." Quill appeared last, now wearing an aviator's jacket and goggles. "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the land of dragons." He gestured grandly to the misty landscape around them. It was breathtaking. Mountains towered in the distance, their peaks wreathed in clouds. The air shimmered with a faint golden glow, and Harper could have sworn she saw something massive and winged disappear into the sky. "You're welcome," Quill said smugly, pretending to bow. "What is this place?" Harper asked, genuinely curious despite her irritation. "The dragon dimension," Quill replied, as if it were obvious. "Home of fire-breathing lizards, shiny treasures, and oh, look, a castle." Sure enough, nestled between the mountains was a massive stone fortress, its spires clawing at the heavens. Harper sighed. "Of course there's a castle." Quill popped up beside her, now dressed in a velvet robe like an overly enthusiastic tour guide. "And not just any castle. That, my friends, is the abode of, wait for it, Eric Northwood." Salem tilted his head. "Who?" "A dragon shifter of legend," Quill said dramatically, spinning around. "Half man, half dragon, all broody charisma." As they neared the gates, the air grew colder, not unpleasantly, but with a certain hush, as if the very stones of the path were holding their breath. A figure stepped from the shadows, dressed in dark, immaculate layers that moved like they'd been stitched from night itself. He didn't speak right away. He didn't need to. Harper felt the weight of his attention before he even looked at her. Calm, controlled, dangerous in a way that didn't brag. Quill leaned in, barely whispering. "That's Eric Northwood, half dragon, fully terrifying. Doesn't do small talk or second chances." The man's gaze finally met Harper's, steady, unreadable, ancient. "You're trespassing," he said, his voice low and clipped, beautiful in the way a blade is beautiful. Harper tried not to flinch. Sorry about that," she said quickly. "We didn't mean to, Quill leaned in, his voice low. "Careful, he's clocking you as either an ally or dinner." Eric's eyes shifted to Salem. "Is the cat enchanted?" "Technically, I'm a familiar," Salem replied with his usual frost. "But yes, I talk." Eric showed no surprise, only the faintest narrowing of his eyes, like he was mentally adding Salem to a list of potential threats. "The dragons will find you interesting," he said. "Stay in the castle. It's safer." Quill sidled up beside Harper, now holding a clipboard and wearing a velvet smoking jacket. "You hear that? Complimentary lodgings and probable survival. 5 stars from me." Eric gestured toward the gates, his tone cool and commanding. "Follow me." Harper exchanged a look with Salem. "This is going to be interesting." "Oh, you have no idea," Quill muttered, adjusting his aviator goggles.